Hello, and welcome to Black Box Online Radio. So, we have some breaking news that is coming out of the state of Minnesota. It appears that the candidate running for the 2nd Congressional District of Minnesota, Adam Weeks, has passed away. I learned about this recently, earlier today actually, on Facebook, and I saw a post, and I thought it was Adam Weeks himself talking about the passing of a friend, but then I really just had to look twice, and it really appeared that Adam Weeks himself, the candidate, had passed away, and it's quite sudden and quite surprising all the same. I cannot say that I knew Adam Weeks personally, but what I can say is that I began following him, closely because of the election. You start interacting with some political circles, and then one thing leads to another, and you learn about more and more people. And I saw that Adam Weeks, a congressional candidate, was very active on social media. And I don't know if he added me on Facebook to promote his stuff, or I added him on Facebook because I was following the political news and I want to follow more of his posts. But we became Facebook friends and interacted just a little bit. I mean, very, very loosely. I never had the pleasure of meeting him face to face, but I definitely followed a lot of what he was doing with the upcoming congressional election when we were going to be doing a larger special on some of the new marijuana-focused political parties that they have in Minnesota closer to the election time. But it appears we will not be doing that now. Absolutely not. And yes, indeed, it seems Adam Weeks has passed away in the state of Minnesota. And there is an obituary that has been put out, but they do not state any cause of death. Even if they did, I wouldn't read that off because at this point it's almost like you would want to leave that as a private family issue. But what it says is Adam Charles Weeks, age 38, of Red Wing, Minnesota, passed away unexpectedly at his home on Monday, September 21st, 2020. Adam was born June 30th, 1982, to George and Mary Weeks in Iowa Falls, Iowa. Adam's father, George, passed away when Adam was 4 years old. Soon after, Mary and Adam relocated to Northfield, Minnesota. And that's another thing that they say here in the obituary, talking about Adam's passion for the Seattle Mariners. It feels like just yesterday he was posting on Facebook celebrating the start of baseball season, and he can't wait to see the Mariners play. And he was just posting updates regularly about what Seattle was doing during baseball season. And they talk about that here in the obituary. During his school days, Adam's passion was everything Ken Griffey Jr. and the Seattle Mariners baseball team. He has collected hats, jackets, shoes, along with a prized collection of baseball cards. Adam had a smile for everyone he encountered, young or old. A passionate soul. And that is what is written here in the obituary. But yes, as I said, I had a brief interaction with Adam Weeks. And definitely, as a political candidate, he was a very charismatic individual, very outgoing as well. I remember that I posted just a question on Facebook. How many personas do you have? And somebody wrote back and said 2. And I replied by saying, Carl Jung said that it was normal to have up to 5 different personas. And Adam Weeks replied by saying, I have hundreds. And I thought that was so perfect. That was such a good response. Hundreds of personas. But yes, like, Adam was someone who was very outgoing, and he had a lot to share. And it really is quite surprising about this very, very sudden tragedy. And this is expanded upon in an article that is written by David H. Montgomery for Minnesota Public Radio News. The sudden death of one of the candidates means that voters in Minnesota's South Suburban 2nd Congressional District won't elect a new member of Congress on November 3rd as scheduled. Instead, there will be a special runoff election on February 9th where a seat will be filled. Running for the 2nd District seat were incumbent Representative Angie Craig, who is a Democrat, Republican Tyler Kistner, and Adam Weeks of the Legal Marijuana Now Party. And as I said, that's what was going to be the focus of our future story, talking about these new political parties that are being focused on marijuana. Voters in the district will still cast ballots for president and other offices in the November election. Weeks died unexpectedly on September 21st, according to his obituary, because the Legal Marijuana Party's candidate for state auditor received more than 5% of the vote in 2018. They qualify as a major party along with the Democratic Farmer Labor Party and the Republican Party, and another marijuana-focused party, the Grassroots Legalized Cannabis Party. And that's what I said. There are these multiple parties that are focusing in on cannabis, or they have cannabis or marijuana in their names, and that's what we were going to explore. Adam Weeks was one of the candidates. And, there's even another article out there that was talking about how they had to go along with this law, even if they believed that the candidate did not have a high chance of winning. And I almost thought that that was in poor taste because it's like, someone has just passed away, and of course you're going to follow the law regarding an election. And that's almost insignificant at that point. I mean, definitely to the family. I mean, you lose your friend or family member, loved one. That's what the focus is on, and then the political system can sort itself out later. But it is good that they are doing it by the book. And if the party that Adam Weeks represented did get 5% in that election back in 2018, even for state auditor, then they're following the law and things are being done by the book, so to speak. And there's a sort of a condolence that is given here, which says, I want to offer condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Weeks. The loss of any of us is a tragedy, and that's felt especially in someone who has put his energy into a campaign to serve in public office, Secretary of State Steve Simon said in a statement. The law is clear on what happens next. If a major party nominee dies within 79 days of an election, a special election will be held on the second Tuesday of February. But there are bigger things going on. As I said, I didn't know Adam Weeks face to face. I definitely followed his things, and I was hoping to talk more about his material as we got closer to the November election. Right now, it is September, as we said, just passing. Adam Weeks just passed away in late September. But I was even thinking about at one time asking him to come on this show to be interviewed. But it appears that life is full of mysteries and surprises and unexpected events. And somebody once said this. It was actually an interview with a player after a football game, somebody from the IFL, the Indoor Football League. And what he said was that life is 10% what you plan for and 90% responding to things that you didn't plan for. And I was like, wow, it's kind of an insightful statement, but you really do not know what is going to happen or when somebody's time is going to come, and you also do not know what will be going on tomorrow or the day after. What sort of unexpected event would happen in the next 24 hours? Well, all we can say now is that rest in peace to Adam Weeks, love and prayers to his friends and family members and the people that were close to him. And that is all that we really have to say. Just giving some condolences here as well on Black Box Online Radio, and rest in peace one more time